this Reddit thing, is so bullish for the space. Here, you got a community or a company, Reddit, which was very anti NFTs, very. And they have been shilled NFTs without knowing they're NFTs. They're digital avatars. They're not NFTs, and they now love them because they paid maximum $10 for it, and they're now able to sell it for a 10, 15, 20x.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've seen that huge rise in the Polygon numbers on OpenSea that I showed in the very beginning from June Analytics in the last couple of days shows that these guys are coming over to OpenSea. And I think this is, we all say we want mass adoption. I'm not saying this is the beginning of it. What I'm saying is that we wanted a positive opportunity to onboard millions of new people. And this is that. This is exactly that. This is that positive experience where people who had nothing to do with NFTs have been given the most positive experience and are now interested in NFTs. And I do think that if anything could be a catalyst to slowly start bringing new people into the space, which is what we want and what we need, that this is that catalyst. I really, really do.
So what I actually heard is a bit contrary to that as far as the NFT people on Reddit. I heard a lot of people got burned. A lot of people, more people than not, got burned, and now they're even more pissed after the initial hype. However, we also gained a fucking lot of people who are now NFT maxis because of this. So while a lot of the NFT community on Reddit is even more pissed, they weren't going to be saved anyway. So it doesn't even matter. But because of that and the initial hype we saw and how it ran up so heavy, we'll likely see a pullback. And, I'm not as interested in like which NFT collections are going to soar. Because honestly, I don't really understand the idea of like 75% of the art all being the same. Like all the collections are basically the same art with no traits or anything, or it doesn't look like there's any trait differences. And it's tough to like want to get into that kind of project after initial hype. But as far as like people on Reddit and this many people being introduced to it, I think that's cool as fuck. I think Polygon is great if it didn't take fucking days to get your money from your Ethereum. If you're trying to bridge it over, it literally takes forever. And I hate using Polygon. I try not to use it if possible, but I don't know if they can fix that problem. I have no problem using Polygon. It's just getting my money into Polygon. It takes fucking forever.
For sure. I mean, I think it's important to realize that the vast majority of these 2.9 million Reddit wallets that have been created for these avatars had no experience with NFTs before this and had no idea of how to move it across to OpenSea or anything like that. So the vast majority of those 2.9 million are guys who got the NFT either for free or for $10 and are now learning how to sell it. And if they sell it right now, they are, no matter which one it is, they are at least a 10x. In some cases, I mean, $22,000, $19,000. You can even see here, 24-hour change on all of these is green, and 7-day is green on all of them. Right. Yeah. So even though it slowed down a bit from a week ago when we spoke about it, for the most part, they're still rising. And you now have people who realize that this thing that I paid $10 for, just thinking it was my avatar on Reddit, not even realizing it was on the blockchain, could be worth $1,500 to $30,000, $40,000.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I can't believe they're running for that much money, honestly. And like, even if someone's flipped it for like 30, 40 bucks, the people on Reddit don't understand the game yet. So they think that's a massive dub. They're like, holy shit, I made a 4x on $10. So they're all happy, I think. And then they probably felt the pain when they saw the other project that they probably could have minted for the exact same price, which is $22,000.
For sure.
But
for sure. But that's what I'm saying is the majority of them, none of them are down. There aren't any that are worth less than $10. We've got Crypto Dream here saying, I feel like NFTs are going to break my heart like comics. I collect comics. No one cares. Marvel wants to make movies. Yeah, I don't know. It depends what you invested in. But if you're in the right ones, it's going to do well. But we're actually talking about DC later on in the show. So I'm going to keep it for there. And yeah, I mean, every news article that I'm seeing is Reddit, which is really, really cool to see. Obviously, a lot of these spooky season ones that are up, we've got Halloween tonight. A lot of those I do think are going to drop after tonight, just, I don't know that now is the best time for someone to buy these on the secondary. I mean, just to put it bluntly, I personally think now is probably the worst time to buy these on the secondary. But I'm just really so bullish on the fact that a lot of people, millions of people, have had a positive experience and were duped into getting NFTs because they think they're just a digital avatar, and now they understand that it can be used positively. And I think that is worth its weight in gold. And I think slowly we are going to see the effects of that in the coming weeks and months for sure.
Well, the main reason that people are struggling to link you having a Twitter profile picture as your social media avatar that you represent yourself, the reason people struggle with that being important to them is because it's not that important unless you're trying to do something in this space. And I think way later in the future, when it's a bit more than just a profile picture as far as how you identify yourself running around this social media world or online world, I think that'll matter more and more and more. And I have always liked the idea of the collectability side of NFTs. And I think there will always be a place for it. I don't know if it's smart or even feasible or possible to know which ones are going to be that. And I really think if you're going to start to try and gamble and try and pick which one's going to go up in value, you're 99.9% of the time you're going to be wrong. So I just stopped trying to find it. Like if I find it, great. If I believe in the project and I think that the team is strong, the brand is strong, everything's good there, then I'll buy it. But I'm never going to buy it and just like really, really put my marbles in that thing, because I don't have my marbles in any project. There's not a single one. Even Bored Apes, dude. Like we've seen the lawsuits. Like there could be something that goes wrong, and then Bored Apes. I mean, they'll never go to zero, I don't think. But you don't know if Bored Apes will be the number one. You could have invested all your money into Yahoo and fucking or Facebook 10 years ago, and then nothing would have happened 10 years later. So you just can't know, bro. Because you don't know what people are going to want in the future. All these NFT projects have these roadmaps. They're going to take about a year to launch. By the time the year rolls around, nobody wants what's on the roadmap anymore. So it's like I had this conversation with Minnie yesterday or the other day from Zen8, and she was like, yeah, bro, like we still have things on the roadmap we're delivering on, and we have to do it because we said we would, and nobody fucking, like, no one's going to care about it when we drop it. And I was like, that sucks. Because it's just different.
And that's why I preach diversification so much, and I really, really do. And if anyone hasn't watched my in real life investment video, please watch it. But yeah, basically diversify. So I'm not even saying within NFTs diversify, which you probably should. Maybe have one gaming, one metaverse, one art, fine. But I'm saying within your investment thesis, diversify. Have a small percentage of money you don't need in NFTs, another small percentage of that money in property, another small percentage of that money in metals like gold and platinum, another small percentage of that money in the stock exchange, and so on and so forth. Diversify, and within those eco chambers in stocks, healthcare, tech, oil, gas, whatever, diversify. Because no one knows, as Kate says, and that's the truth. And that's why diversification is really a good strategy for people who are risk adverse. Yeah. Obviously, you get guys that are not risk adverse. Some of them end up becoming multimillionaires over a short period of time, and others end up losing multi-millions over a short period of time. So it just depends on how risky you want to be. But personally, I'm risk adverse. And so for me, diversification is the name of the game for sure.
Yeah. Agreed.
Agreed.